Hello there and welcome to Fairyland Cottage, and thanks very much for joining me here today. I thought I'd share with you a few little recipes I have for some self-care products that you can use when you're giving yourself a spa day or if you're wanting to give some gifts to people. And the first one is going to be a coffee scrub. And the reason I'm using coffee is because, apart from the fact that it is very zero waste in the sense that my partner has coffee and there's always these leftover coffee grinds that you can just use in a scrub. And coffee grinds are great as a scrub because they're a skin brightener, they've antioxidant qualities, they smooth the skin and they help exfoliate. So it's great, instead of putting the coffee grinds onto compost, you can use them in this coffee scrub. And adding to the coffee scrub would be some sugar. Now I use brown sugar, but really it's what you have in your kitchen, and there's something so luxurious about being able to go to your kitchen and use products there to make stuff that's really good for your skin. Because if you were to buy some of these products out in the shops, you'd be paying a huge price when really they're using very cheap ingredients. So you can make sure that you have really high quality ingredients. Now I use a little bit of oil to bring it together, and I'll leave all the recipes down below so you can check them out. But it's really nice to kind of mix and match and go with flavors that you like. I added a little bit of vanilla essence because I just love the idea of coffee and vanilla together, kind of like a vanilla latte. And this jar here was a candle before in its previous life, and now it's been used for the scrub. Next, let's move on to a bath soak. Now, I don't have a bath, but I'm going to make this for my mother, who has a bathtub, and there's nothing like using lavender. This is the lavender I collected from my friend's garden last year. It just smells beautiful, and we all know that the properties of lavender are relaxing, so it's great to have in a bath. And I love adding some oats to it. Now, oats is a very gentle cleanser, but it's also a moisturizer, and it's the kind of thing that when we're younger and we had itchy skin, our parents would just put oats in the bathtub to really ease that itchiness. Next, I'm going to be adding some pink Himalayan salt. I had a big quantity of it. And the thing about salt is it contains magnesium and potassium, so it's really great for relaxing, easing stress, and kind of easing out any muscle cramps or tensions that you have. And I finished this little bath soak off with some eucalyptus because I was able to get it in the garden. And this has been drying for a few months. So I find it such a sensual experience to make all these products, and the smells and the aromas going through the house is divine. So I just blended them all up. I just find that it soaks into the bath water easier. And I find that these self-care products, it's nearly self-care actually making them. Because it's so pleasant. It's like if you're somebody who likes to bake. It's the smells and mixing everything together. It's like you're mixing together a potion. So I find it very relaxing and therapeutic, and with Mother's Day coming up at the end of March for anyone in the UK and Ireland anyway, I know in America it's much later in the year, I think, isn't it May? Well, I thought I'd give these to my mom as a gift. But you can give them to anybody you love, or yourself, as always. Never forget yourself. It could be really nice to make something and give a little decoration, and it's just for you. And every time you go into the bathroom, you can see that that's just your little time that you spend on yourself and a little bit of self-care. And last but not least, when having a spa day, it's nice to have a little candle. And I've got so many scraps of candles. You know the way when a candle goes down but yet it doesn't get rid of all the wax? So I'll always keep them and then use them for things like this. I have a video of actually how to make the candles. But for this one it's super simple because I'm using a jar where that was a candle before. And I just took the wick out and then putting all the little scraps into the candle. And I'm going to put it on the stove and melt. Obviously I know this glass can withstand heat. And it's just a great way of reusing wax that would otherwise be just thrown out. And when it's nicely melted, I'll put in these little wicks. I've had these now for about 5 years. You should be able to get them at a nice craft shop. A lot of the wax that I put in was already kind of had an aroma, but I'm just going to add a little bit of essential oils to it as well. And if you see candles these days, again, they charge so much for them and there's so much leftover wax with them, so you can always just make more. And then the best part of it is decorating each jar, keeping it simple. I'll always just have a box of everything and reuse things that I have, whether it's an old button or a little oak leaf. So we've got our lovely scrub and our candle and our bath soak. I'm going to put them all together, and when I'm writing a card, do you ever do that where you cut off one side of the card with the picture, and then just fold it in half and you've got yourself a new card? And it's a really nice way of just reusing and reducing waste. And you can put a little linen tea cloth underneath. Add a few flowers. So I'm going to surprise my mom and drop it outside her door because we're going to visit. And I'd really like to know, what are your favourite self-care products that you like to make in the house? And as always, I'll talk to you below over on Instagram. And have a wonderful week. Keep it simple. Remember to look after yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.